All right, we've got a few days left of December, and what better captain than Michael Huggins to sail us through the waters of success for that? He's with us this morning. Michael, how are you? Good morning, Michael. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let's jump into this.
All right, we've got the host transferred over and ready to see what you've got for us today, sir.
Okay, here we go. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for jumping in here. It is time to bring some winning energy to our conversations with our warm market. Okay, I know some people who had a fantastic 2017. Everything went better than planned, and that's always exciting. But then there are other people who didn't hit certain goals, and I'm one of them. Okay, my goal, I had a certain income goal. I didn't hit it. But how do I still bring a winning energy to my business and to the people I'm talking to about this business, even though I didn't hit my goals? Well, one of the things to remember is, did you exceed in other areas? Right? Did you hit a goal in something else, or create something that you didn't even know you were going to create and exceed an expectation that way? So bringing winning energy is so important. When you're on the phone or when you're talking to a warm market person or even a 3-foot rule, someone you just bumped into, and you have this spirit of excellence, you have this spirit of winning, you have this, you're walking like you have a purpose, that kind of stuff will actually bring more people into your business. I was talking to someone the other day, and he's like, I got this really hot lead. I got this really great person who, man, if they just came in, they would make my business so much better. They would make my experience so much better. I'd make so much more money, make more friends. I really don't want to lose this person. This is what he was asking me. He's like, I don't want to lose this person, so what do I do? And I actually remember asking Bob Snyder this many years ago. And so I remember asking Bob, what do I do here? Do I tell him, I got something better than they got going on, and they should join me and do what I'm doing? Or, do I tell them like, hey, I know that because you have a job, you're going to pay way too much in taxes. Like, how do I approach it? What do I say? Do I just tell him? And Bob was like, no, you don't just come out the gate and say, hey, I know you don't get to take any vacations with your kids and you hate your boss and your schedule. Don't approach it that way. No, definitely not. Here's what he said. He said, take it to the positive side. Say, hey, you're probably doing really well. You're probably doing better, and I don't know where you're at, but you have more money than you know what to spend on or know what to do with, right? And when you approach your warm market and you approach these amazing leads this way, and you go to or you just assume the positive, then they'll actually tell you the negative. But the opposite is also true. If you assume the negative, oh, you probably hate your job, oh, your boss probably sucks, oh, you probably don't get paid enough, then they go on the defense and they say, yes, I do. And actually my boss is okay. And I get paid fine for what I do. So part of it is when we're pursuing people that are a higher caliber is assuming the positive so they tell you the negative. assuming the positive so they tell you the negative. It's the same thing if you're talking to someone about retirement accounts. You say, I don't know, you probably don't want to land on this project. You're probably getting, a 7, 8, 9% return on your money. And if you assume the positive, then they'll go, no, actually, I wish I'm getting a 1, a 2, a 3. But if you came out the gate and you said, hey, you're probably getting a 1, 2, or 3, you should do this thing with me to get a 7, 8, 9, they're going to go on the defense and say, nah, I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. So it happens with leads. It happens with private money. It happens with sellers on properties. So what I'm trying to say is, if the person you're trying to court or trying to close the deal with, if they know that you think they're the prize, then they're going to play even harder to get. They're going to, it'll turn into a cat and mouse game. But if you do a release statement and you do the takeaway and you say, no, you're probably fine. You're probably going to retire early like us. You probably don't want to take a look at this. And you assume that they're okay, then they'll go, well, actually, let me take a look at it. I could always do better. I'm coachable. I could learn something. So here's the thing. If let's say you have this really amazing lead who, they'll come out the gate, get certified in a week, build up a team, giant. You got this amazing person that you want in. Maybe it's a family member, right? An uncle, a cousin, a neighbor, somebody that's got great experience, could kill it in this business, and they just applied themselves. And you don't want to scare them away. You don't want to sound desperate. What do we do? How do we approach them? Hopefully this is a useful topic you guys are interested in hearing about. Remember, you can type in the chat also if you want me to cover something specifically. Okay, so back to the scenario. You got this amazing lead, going to make you a bunch of money. How do you come at them without being like, oh my gosh, you're going to be the best. You're going to be the best. This is going to be so great. Because if you do that, then like the opposite will happen. They'll be like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something greater somewhere else. I don't know about this. So don't approach them like that. You say, you know what? You got to come from a place where it's like, look, it's the fourth core belief. It's your loss if you say no. It's awesome. And sure, you probably do great at it. But you're not the only person who knows how to do referrals, or you're not the only customer who could get 20 grand. You're not the only, and if you have this feeling of you're not the only, you're great. I'm not trying to put you down, but you're not the only person like this. Then, do you know what happens to you? Immediately, you become more attractive. Immediately. You are now more attractive. But if you're like, ooh, I want you, on my team, be my customer, I want you, then all of a sudden you're not as attractive. You're not as attractive. You're not as attractive to that lead or to the other pool of leads. But if you're talking to that one lead and you say, yeah, but there's this other pool of leads over here, so if you don't make a decision quickly, I'll just go talk to these people, no big deal. And BD, no big deal. Then all of a sudden you're more attractive to the new lead, and when you're more attracted to the new lead, you're actually more attracted. It makes you more attracted to the whole lead pool, and now everyone wants to be on your team. If you're not trying to get a specific person on your team, then everyone wants to be on your team. But as soon as you start chasing one person, then the whole lead pool sees you chasing, and now you're unattractive. We don't chase. We add value. We have a service. We have a product. And we are here for people to come in and out of our businesses. They walk through this door, so to speak. Okay, but if we're constantly chasing people, let's say you got a storefront, on Main Street, and a customer walks in and says, nah, I don't think so. And you run out the door with them, and you're like, wait, this would be great for you. You're running down the street, and other people will start showing up to your business, but you're not there because you're chasing people. And when I say chasing, it's not about putting. You still got to put time into gaining customers. Okay, it's still going to take a couple hours, but in those hours, are you coming from chasing your customer, or are you coming from attracting your customer? Okay, the chasing just turns everyone off. The lead specifically that you're chasing and the lead pool who's watching you do your business. Okay, so you don't need any specific person, you just need people in your business. And I've used that line in many follow-ups, right? Like, hey, look, if I don't need any one person, it might be you, but it might not be you. That's fine, I have an appointment tomorrow with someone else also. And what if you don't have an appointment with someone tomorrow? Can you still say that? Well, you have an appointment with yourself in the morning to review your goals, right? Every one of you should have woken up early, reviewed your goals, done some stretches, eat right, review your goals, do your affirmations. So when we're pursuing a hot lead, it's the fourth core belief. It's your loss if you say no. A couple of years ago, Vanessa and I enrolled one of her uncles into Renatus. He's got his combo, self-directing his IRA, he's doing some fix and flips. It's awesome, saving a bunch in taxes. He's an engineer, so he's really applying himself. He did a lot of analysis, but now he's applying himself. I have yet to get him, and I realized it this a couple weeks ago when I last talked to him. I sold him the combo, right? I made the commission, but I haven't got him to attend a live education week. And I tell him about it several times a year. We got live education week. And just this last time, I'm inviting him, I'm like, hey, by the way, Jay Massey's coming January 9th, 10th, and 11th. So just come to corporate, be there. I'll see you over there. And I misapplied this principle that I'm telling you guys about, where I kept saying, nah, you need it, right? Like, you need me, you need my product, you need the meeting, whatever it is. When the salesperson is saying you need, and the customer goes, I doubt it, probably not. Actually, I'm just fine without it. So when I kept telling him you need to go to this, he kept saying, nah. So this next time, I'm going to call him next week, tell him, hey, we got one more week for this thing to go, but you're probably doing just fine, right? You probably made more sales than you could handle, and you probably don't need this class. But I just want to let you know it's there. I know I'm going to get a different reaction out of him because I'm going to change my language. Okay, I was trying to chase him. Even though he was a customer, I was still chasing him to get him to come to another training. So it's in all of our relationships, not just selling combos. It's in all human interaction, this chasing versus courting and attracting. Okay, so even though we got customers, how do we get you guys on the phone every morning, right? If I begged and pleaded and demanded and told you need to be here, there probably wouldn't be as many of you here. But it's because it's an option, and take it or leave it kind of thing, people show up. Okay? So it's that fourth core belief. It's your loss if you say no. And then that's how I feel about all the people who are missing the phone call this morning. It's their loss if they say no. Okay, looks like we got a comment. Daniel, what's up? Good morning, my friend. Okay. As a leader, when you get your warm market in or any other lead in, do you just point them towards the resources they need to be successful? I'm asking this because if they don't get the same results I'm getting, I want to avoid internalizing their success or failure. Okay. So this one's easy. This one is easy. It comes down to this principle of don't take anything personally. Okay, we've heard this before. It's good advice from the elders, right? Don't take it personally. And we interpreted that to mean don't take it personally if it's something we don't like. But really, that means don't take anything personally, whether we like it or not. So if you get a bunch of trophies and accolades and a bunch of, attention for being awesome and doing this achievement, don't take any of that personal. And then if someone starts hating on you and telling you you're a piece of crap, again, you don't take any of that personal on both sides of the scale. So it's the same thing with a customer and their success with the product. If you want to take credit for their success, then you must take credit for their failure. Okay, it's a two-way street. But on the other hand, if we follow that one of those agreements where we don't take anything personally, and we teach them this whole thing about don't take anything personally, and then we tell them, this is what I do, Daniel. I say, look, I'm not going to take credit for your success. So when you're up on stage next year and Bob Snyder's handing you a trophy, I'm not going to sit at my table and say, I did that. That was me. I helped. That's because of me. I'm not going to do that. But I'm also not going to sit at home and worry about you and being able to pay your bills and say, no, he can't pay his bills because of me. I'm not going to do that either. You're responsible for your success. You're responsible for your failure. And I'm going to meet you every day online. Or I'll meet you every Thursday at the office. Or I'll meet you every Saturday at a house. I'll be there, but I'm not going to be responsible for your success or your failure. So that's the first part. When you're having that kind of upfront conversation or that conversation at all, it changes their expectation of the dynamic. And honestly, Daniel, the more I've had this belief and this understanding in my mind that I'm not responsible for their success or their failure, then I don't get those kind of questions about results. I don't get those kind of, well, what if you just got lucky, or what if I get lucky, or what if I don't get it? It comes down to this conversation of responsibility. Okay? And again, every person is different. You're taking your hand that you were dealt in life and trying to play a game. So people get different results in different time frames all the time. Our product it's not like a weight loss product where you're like, okay, you lost 20 pounds. Or it's not like a physical product where you put it on and you look a certain way, right? Like it's so personalized and so unique that everyone's results measure differently. Right? If someone's making 20 grand a year and they save 10 grand in taxes, and someone's making 200 grand a year and saves 20 grand in taxes, who had a better result? You can't really measure it that way. So when our customers are asking questions like that, two things. One, we address it in the responsibility conversation, and then prepare yourself to repeat yourself at least monthly with these people until they get it down. Responsibility, right? If you've gone decades without being held responsible, and now you come into this business, you got to be responsible. You just got to remind people. Remind. So that's part one. And then part two is if you're afraid of that kind of question, or you're ashamed of your results, quote unquote, results compared to someone else, and if you're ashamed of that, then your customers are going to pick up on that and start asking result-based questions. And I recommend having that responsibility conversation the moment they say something irresponsible. So it's a standard. Okay, I was talking to another IMA last night, and we're trying to close one of his leads, and the lead is constantly half an hour to an hour late, whether it's a phone appointment or a meeting. We've met him a couple of times now in person and a couple of times on the phone, and he's just been late every time. And I was talking to this IMA, and I'm like, God damn it, dude, why do we have to keep putting up with this lateness? I don't like it. And he's like, well, he's just kind of like that, and the first time I met him, he was kind of late, but I didn't want to push him. I didn't want to be aggressive or scare him off. And now because he didn't have a 2-minute conversation the first time Mr. Lead was late, the dude has now been late 5 more times and cost us several valuable hours. So it's not a step in the process, guys. Daniel, it's not a step in the process. It's just whenever they say something irresponsible, or they indicate that there's a belief inside their mind that is skirting responsibility, because ultimately that's going to hurt their results. It's not the product, it's not the time, it's this mindset of responsibility. So if my IMA would have said something at the very beginning, the first time he was late, says, "Hey man, if you're late again, I'm going to call it off and good luck to you. Bye." Then that lead would either grow away and we'd never see him again, or he would show up on time, or at least be making an effort, right? Or let us know ahead of time, hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late or whatever, but there's just no communication. And since that IMA put up with it the very first interaction, it's now every interaction. And that's not worth the commission check, because then he's just going to attract more people like him. So I have a call scheduled with him in about an hour. We'll see if he even answers, and then I'm going to let him know. Respect and responsibility for people's time. If he, if we got 5 people waiting on him and he's 15 minutes late, that's over an hour and 15 minutes of people's time. So hopefully that helps. That's a time thing, but also if you're warm market people or your 3-foot rule people, you're getting close to closing them and they say things like, "Oh, I hope this works." Then you stop again and you don't say things like, "Oh yeah, no problem, it'll work." You stop and you take this as a coaching moment and you say, "Well, hold on a sec now. I heard you say something. I just want to get some clarity around that. Did you say I hope this works, or did you say I hope I work?" Because this flat out works. It's like a car. You just get in and you start it. But if you don't get in and start it, it's just going to sit there. So it's not I hope it works. It's I hope I work. And then we talk about that phrase hope. There's no hope unless we're talking Star Wars. You're a Jedi. There's no hope. Just work. Just the doing, the steps. So now, Daniel, for all you people listening, when I have those conversations at the very beginning, I used to have that fear, like this other IMA I was telling you about. I used to have this fear. I don't want to push him. I don't want to push him away. I don't want to push him to get mad. I don't want to rush him. And that kind of timidity is the same thing that I started out this training with around the whole hunting, right? You're chasing, pursuing. If you come at an engagement with a customer like, "Oh, I don't want to push you, I don't want to rush you," then it's that same thing. "Well, if you joined my team, it would just be so awesome, but I don't want to make you mad." Don't come at it like that. People don't like that. They don't respect that. That's not a valuable perspective. So I interrupted that IMA last night when I'm like, "Why did you do that?" He goes, "Well, I don't want to push him." And I said, "Stop. You have my permission to push. You need to push. Top income earners, push. Customers are afraid of spending 20 grand. And that's fine. We got a $100,000 product. They're spending 20 grand on it. They're getting 80% off. Time to push." But now that I've had those conversations up front, tardiness or blame, right? Sometimes people will get on the call and they'll start blaming their boss for being late. "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late to the call. Oh, my boss this, my boss that." And I'll just stop right there. "Well, hold on a sec now. Before we even get started, I want to let you know that in our organization, we don't entertain blaming and we don't entertain complaining. So if you're late, it's fine, own it, but we're not going to blame. Is that cool?" And they say, "Oh, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry." Okay, and then from ever on forward, for the rest of the time they're in the business, they're with Renatus or my team, they have a new way of engaging. But if you put up with it, then that's just how they're going to stay. And also with your warm market, when they see that you have new standards that you're sticking to, they go, "Whoa, you've changed. This is kind of cool." Does that help? Does that provide some clarity? You got it, my friend. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up today? I just want to remind you guys this little voice that pops into our heads sometimes so imagine this. You are reading a book or you're watching a class, you're taking in some new information, and you go, "Yeah, I should do that. I should definitely do that." And then you go to bed, and then the voice in your head when you wake up says, nah, it's not worth it. You guys experienced that before? You know what I'm talking about? So sometimes what that little voice does is it'll say things like, yeah, but we've never done it like that. Yeah, but we've never done it like that. Okay? In this organization, and if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you can never say such a limiting, small-minded statement as that. Yeah, but we've never done it like that. Okay? Don't say that. And so we'll do that to ourselves. We'll have this great idea. Hey, you should do this new thing to improve your life. And then the other voice comes up and says, yeah, but we've never done it like that. I want 2018, for me, what I'm going to do, if that little voice pops up and says, yeah, but we've never done it like that, I'm going to reassociate that to mean that's why I should do it. Because people who say that, who live that, who think like that, who let that kind of mindset dictate action, are in a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset. It's employee mindset. That's stuck mindset. I don't want that. So if you say it, catch yourself, correct it, change it. If you hear your other teammates saying it, remind them, hey, just because you haven't done it that way before that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Okay, that's limiting thinking. I was watching a billionaire interview show. Okay, this guy's got a channel on YouTube where he only interviews billionaires. And this billionaire was chuckling about his latest business acquisition. That's his job. He just buys businesses all day. And he says, I love it when we buy a business and then we go in the very first day and we start making changes, and their board of executives says, whoa, 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 we're not going to be making those changes like that. We've never done it like that. And he says, he just smiles and he says, exactly. That's why I'm buying you and you're not buying me. Okay? So if we have that mindset of, whoa, I've never done it like that, that shit doesn't matter. That's not a qualifier for if you should or should not do something. Okay? So if you catch yourself in that mindset, get out of it. You hear your teammates or your family or your spouse or your coworkers even say stuff like that, have that conversation and challenge them in a friendly way. You don't need to be a jerk about it, but in a friendly, challenging, carefrontational kind of way. Debate that statement. I've never done it like that before. So every morning, guys, for 2018, if you just get up and say 10 I am statements, I am powerful, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am sophisticated, I am nice, I am friendly. 10 I am statements for all of 2018. Just in the morning, 60 seconds, just do that. You're going to get a different result than last year, 2017. You're going to get a different result. 2018 is going to be so new to you. And I'm going to tell you this now, and you're going to think, oh, that's a good idea. I should do that. And within a few hours, maybe by tomorrow morning, when your exercise assignment starts, that little voice says, yeah, it sounded like a good idea, but we've never done it like that before.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yes. Is there any possibility that I could mention a property that generates $3 million a year, and I need a buyer at $1.5 million?
This is not the time, place to do that. Nope.
Okay, what's the best time and place to do that? I'm new.
Yeah, sure.
I'm in LA as well, and I don't know if we have any meetings in LA.
Oh, there are definitely meetings in LA for sure. There's like 4 or 5 SoCal teams. So there's the study groups and the masterminds and the house tours and on your Thursday nights and your epics and all that stuff. That's the best time to discuss your real estate.
And how could I find the next meeting or closest meeting?
So when you log into your business center, you click on the communication tab, and there'll be a little menu that pops down from that. Then you click on the calendar button, and then it'll show you right there. It should default to the state you're in. If not, sometimes it defaults to Arkansas, and you got to change it. change it to California. Then you should see everything for the next 30 or 60 days that's happening in California. And then you just click on the events for that day, and it'll tell you the address, who you could call if you need more info about parking or what the event entails. I would also call and see about volunteering. Say, hey, do you need any help with setup or tear down, or do you want me to bring some waters or something? You know, when you call, that volunteer thing goes a long way, my friend.
Okay, good idea.
And,
thank you.
Yeah, stay plugged in that way. You got it. Okay, Lamont. Morning, Lamont. He says, does the help card require a down payment, and exactly how does it work? Okay, so the help card works like this. It's not a down payment. There is a let's call it a filing fee. I don't remember exactly what they call it. A filing fee, an application fee, something like that. Anyway, I think it's $75. They fill out. Oh, it's called an admin slip. That's what it is. An admin slip. So they fill out an admin slip. It's like $75. That goes over to Credit Nerds. Then you go put their order in. So write this down, Lamont. You can put their order in, and then you're going to change the payment method to wire transfer. And then in the wire transfer ID, you're going to type in help card. Okay, and then that way you can finish entering their order. They'll get their password so they can go set up their account. Once you've done that, you've sent that admin slip over to Credit Nerds, and then you put in the order with the wire transfer. Then within a few days, Credit Nerds will wire the money to Renatus. Then Renatus will see that the order was already entered by you, and then they can attach that payment to that order. Okay, and then in the next few days, you'll get a commission payout from that, but it'll be something like $760 instead of $1,000 for essentials. Okay, so I think it's something like a 24% discount for using that financing program, but we take the discount as the salespeople, and that's how that order gets entered that way. Okay, Austin says, when you take time off for holidays, do you have any routines to get you back on your game? I am creating a new ritual, but Daniel, I am just so excited about our mission, and I look at it as very mission-oriented, and I think that's what keeps me motivated. I'm not necessarily the money. It's nice to have the money, but I'm mission motivated. So, routines to get back in. Like literally this morning, I just hopped onto YouTube and typed in Les Brown motivational speech and listened to 30 minutes of that and just jump right back into it. Okay, Louis. I used the takeaway sale and it totally works. Just do the opposite of what others do. Exactly. That takeaway in the release statement. Look, if you don't want to do it, that's 100% okay with me. And you just sit there in that silence, and then you go, well, I do want to do it. Oh, perfect. What's your credit card number? So, by the way, for all of you guys in Utah, we're going to be starting a Utah EMT on February 12th. Stay tuned for the link. But it'll be the next 5 Mondays leading up to nationals for that. So stay tuned. I know there are some people who moved to Utah for 90 days, someone from California and someone from Florida moved to Utah during the winter for 90 days. They moved from sunny beaches to mountain snow for 90 days so they could participate in his last round of EMT in Salt Lake City. So if that's something you guys want to do, let me know. But we'll be taking about 30, 35 people or so. So just putting that out there. And Wanda's right. We don't stop for holidays. We don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I look at the holidays as like just another reason to get going. Most people are sick and tired of how their holiday spending went. They didn't like it last year. They didn't like it this year. So it's perfect time. So, Mama, you got a question?
So I'm a pig in my spots.
Okay. I don't think he meant to do that. Okay. Ooh, more chats. So imagine a salesman. He's been doing sales for a while, and he's getting ready to hit the day hard. He stops at the diner in the morning. He's getting his coffee, and a blizzard just comes in like crazy. And the roads are blocked. It's a crazy mess outside. But there's still some people out and about. And the waiter, is serving the customer, tops off his coffee, and the customer says, "Hey, do you think it's okay to go outside? Do you think today's a good day for sales?" And he says, "It depends. Are you self-employed or are you W-2? If you're W-2, everyone stays home when it's snowing like this, when it's weather like this. So that'd be a great day to go do some sales, right? Go knock on doors, go make phone calls. Everyone will be home. It'd be great." It's the same idea with the holidays. We don't take time off holidays. It's a great time. People have time off work, so it's actually easy for us to connect with people. Same idea with New Year's. Don't let New Year's be like, well, let me talk to you after the New Year. Like, no, let me talk to you now. It's a great time. You don't have work. Let's go. Adrian, it is in person only. We do it a couple times a year. It starts February 12th. And it requires a cash deposit. So it's $500 to play. There's a $350 refundable deposit when you complete all 5 weeks. But the material for everything for those 5 weeks and the activities that we're doing, it'll be about $150. So I just pass that cost on to you. I used to just make it free for everyone and absorb that cost, but then no one took it seriously. And then Vanessa was like, "Why are you just putting out a bunch of money for people that don't really care?" So we change it up and say, "Hey, put your money out, and if you finish, you get your money back. Plus, by finishing, you will also make some sales. So you'll make even more money." I will keep you abreast of how to register as we get closer. We'll send out a link. Okay, so like I said, with that little voice that comes up in your head, and it says, "Well, we've never done it like that before," don't fall for that. I want you to add something simple to your morning. 10 I am statements. I am powerful. I am generous. I am caring. I am healthy. I am valuable. I have something valuable to say. I am a powerful leader. I am a great listener. I'm an excellent giver. Those kind of I am statements I've been doing for years and years and years and years. And you know what? I found out it's not that big of a secret. All the greats do I am statements in the morning. All of them. Any millionaire that you can think of is doing I am statements. Now, some of them are on automatic level 4 learning, and it's just perpetuating in there during their day. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. But other of us are using this principle to the negative side. I am always late. I am bad with names. I am bad at math. I am bad at spelling. I am, and we say stupid things like that about ourselves. So stop it. 2018, moving forward, is just I am, and then something powerful, something empowering. And when you say that stuff out loud around your friends, your warm market, people are like, whoa, That's weird. I've never heard someone do that before. I say, yeah, well, you probably also never hung out with a millionaire. Okay? People are going to be weirded out by your newness, the new things that you do. Don't be intimidated by their critique, by their criticism. The stuff that we're training on you with, right? You heard Mike Adams this morning on the impact. Okay? You heard Christian Sadler yesterday. The people, you heard Nate Lambert on the impact yesterday. These guys that are telling you what is working had to ignore their friends and family that were saying, well, that's weird. Why would you do that? Oh, you own your own business and you make a bunch of money, but you still get up every day at 7 a.m.? That's weird. Why would you do that? If I was rich, I'd never get up early. Right? You're going to have people in your life that say silly things like that. Don't engage with them. Or if they say silly things like that, you can say what Jim Rohn says. You know, so someone's like, well, if I ever got rich, I'd never work a day in my life. Jim Rohn says, well, that's probably why the good Lord sees to it that you don't make any money, because you won't work. Right? You gotta have fun with it. You gotta play it. But when it's work time, let's work hard. We don't have to work long hours. We just have to work hard. Cool. Well, this is exciting, guys. 2018, it's going to be huge. We got, just to give you guys a couple other quick announcements. In first week of February in Denver, we'll be having Bob Tierney doing a workshop for us. And then the first week of March, we're going to have Chris Albin do a workshop for us in Denver. And then the second week of March, Chris Albin's doing a workshop for us in Las Vegas. So we got two things coming up in Denver, Bobby T and Albin for February and March, and then in Vegas we got Albin in March. Obviously Salt Lake's got some huge things going on too, so check the calendar, but we're excited about these two emerging markets. Also, you know, Phoenix is just a gigantic machine. It's on point. You guys are doing great. So plug in if you're brand new. Check out what those guys are doing on a daily. Well, guys, we got something that is working. It is taking broke-ass, confused, naive kids and making them sophisticated, powerful business owners. So if you're not broke, naive, and a kid, then you got a lot going for you. There's plenty to do in this business. So stay focused. Okay, if someone else is working on fix and flips and they're making a bunch of money, and someone else is working on short sales and they're making a bunch of money, and you know that you want to do rentals, stay with your rentals. Even if other people are doing all sorts of other stuff, you stay focused, you get what you want. But if you start 10 projects and we get each 10% done, you're not going to make any money. See one project 100% the way through. Okay, stay focused. Also, I found a really cool YouTube channel called Success Music Now. Success Music Now. And they put inspirational speeches, motivational speeches over some hip-hop beats. So you're getting some groovy tunes with some powerful lyrics, powerful words. Success Music Now on YouTube. You guys want to check that out? That's something I bump in the morning. Actually, all day, actually. Do it all day. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in to another edition of Wealth Wednesday. If there's no other questions, and we will wrap this up and go attack the day.
Gracias, Michael.
Okay, de nada. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and gals, take care. Hasta la pasta. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista. Okay. All right. Ciao.
Okay.